Okay, so right now I'm going to demonstrate how you can generate a gas and collect that gas. We collect the gas in mason jars, and we use this equipment. This is called a pneumatic trough. It has a weird spelling, and this is a little shelf that sits in the pneumatic trough. This is going to be filled with water momentarily, so it's very important when you're using this that you allow this spigot to overhang the sink. If there's not a spigot on there and it's just flush, then you would just make sure that you're overhanging the sink. So I'm going to add the water to it right now. That's hot water. The temperature of the water does not matter, but you're going to be handling things under the water, so you don't want it to be so hot that you end up burning yourself. While this is filling, I'll show you, this is the gas generation vessel, and you can generate a lot of gases in there. Today we're going to be focusing on oxygen. Alright, so you can see I have quite a bit of water in there. So a chemical reaction will take place in here to generate the gas that you want to generate. And when that gas gets generated, it's going to travel up through the pipe, and it's going to come down the tube, and it's going to come out of this. So this thing right here is called a Thistle Tube. This, when you're generating gas, I'll just take a little bit of the water, you must have enough water in the bottom to cover the bottom of the Thistle Tube, because we want to be able to add the chemicals that we need in the gas generator without having to take the cover off. We want to keep it a sealed system. So we use this to add the chemicals that we need, and we typically, you can sometimes just pour. Today when we're generating oxygen gas, sometimes you can get some backing up, and I use this little thing as a plunger. You actually stick it down in there and just kind of plunge, and just keep yourself at a distance. But so this is the gas generation vessel. Depending on the gas that you want to make, different chemicals will go in here. To prepare the jars, you want to completely fill them with water, so much that there's it's like overflowing. Is it overflowing? Alright, so much that it's overflowing, and then we put this cover on. And then you have, not always the easiest process. Overflowing, putting the cover on, and then holding that cover on tight, tipping it upside down, and putting the mouth of it under the water, removing the cover, and then managing to bring this up onto that tray without any air going in. So I don't want to generate any gas right now to demonstrate to you, but I will just use, I guess, maybe my mouth to generate some gas. I have that, it's clean. Could you just give me that black tube there? Yeah. So when I'm generating gas, and sometimes it can be very quickly, you want to have teamwork and actually put this through the hole so that the tube is going up into the jar and generating gas. The gas is going to rise because it's less dense than the water that's in there, and it's going to push the water out. So this is called water displacement method of generating and collecting the gas over water. So that was really weird. I'm not quite sure what happened. Because I stopped blowing and it must have created some sort of vacuum. Sometimes you'll generate gas and it'll go down a little bit and it'll seem to slow down. Usually at that time you want to add more chemical to the vessel to kind of speed that up again. When it's filled though, there'll be a distinct bubbling like that, and you pull this out and very carefully slide it. Oh, that collected a bunch of water. There's too much water in there, so I'm going to add more gas and hope for the best. Usually you don't get that much water, and I guess if you do, you can just go like that. Oxygen gas is more dense than air. So if your gas is more dense than air, the best way to store it is upright, so that if anything, the likelihood of any gas escaping is slim, because it'll just kind of rest in there in a basin. If we were making hydrogen gas, which is less dense than air, we would want to store it upside down, so that if this opened up, most of the gas would stay contained in there. So oxygen gas we store upright. If you were storing it for long term, you would put a ring on it and store it. When I make a large amount of it, I just store it in my cabinet like this. I store it upright. I know that it's oxygen gas. If I store it upside down, I know it's hydrogen gas. So you have your oxygen and you have your gas. And then you just would want to have a filled jar ready as a backup to go ahead and replace this one and collect as many jars as what you are desiring to collect. So this is the equipment used to generate a gas over water, and now I'll stop there and